What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2Pro Gaming Orjo here, back at it with another video, and today we're doing a video that Austin recommended, and I'll put his link down in the description. It's The Suite Life of Dakota and Austin, so go subscribe to him. Thank you, Austin, for the video idea, and surprisingly, it's one that I didn't do that, I thought I may have done. It's my top 3 worst horror movies that I hated to watch. Good video topic here, and we're just going to hop right into it. Number 3 is simply going to be The Blair Witch 2. The Blair Witch 2. Easiest way to describe it is it's out there. It is out there. It is not true to the original whatsoever in any extent besides the name and the name of the town that they're in and shit. Even then, this movie is fucking stupid. Avoid this movie. Partially because it lost the found footage feel that the first one brought. The cast and the main characters and shit were very hard to watch. They seemed like they couldn't act and they had to improvise, which was good in the first one because, I felt like they improvised a lot, and it worked because the original is good. I will make my top 3 favorite horror movies compared to these ones because these are just straight ass. Now, part 2, it was not original. It had random cutscenes of jump scares that made no sense to have been added. Like, one sense, the dude just sitting there, one of the girls handed him a cup of coffee and she sees him in an electric chair. Like, made no sense whatsoever for that to be added. It was just for pure shock value. Found footage was gone, not original whatsoever. And apparently the witch can now strike you in town and just hit you in the head, which was already established in lore in the first one. But now she can attack you while you're not in the woods. The characters just all seem douchey and shit, like, to the main character. And, yeah, just all around, avoid this movie. Number 2, oh boy, this one hits home because it was one of my favorites until I gave it a rewatch. Jaws the Revenge. Now, I would like to love this movie. The opening of this movie where, his Brody's son goes out, tries to move a log off a buoy or something, and a shark comes out and it's bloody and shit. That was the best part of the movie. After the first 15-20 minutes of the movie, dip out. Dip out after the first kill because there is nothing else helping you stay to that film. A shark travels from Boston, Massachusetts, all the way down to fucking the Bahamas. I would love to think that the shark is the same shark in every movie just being resurrected, but we all know that ain't the case. Especially in the lore of part 3 where it's a mother shark protecting her kid, and Bruce was obviously a male shark. And the first 2, or the first one I guess, but that was not the case. I just wish that would have happened, but it didn't. Fuck me. This movie's just so bad to even talk about. It hurts. Because you want to love the Jaws franchise. You really do. The first one and the second one, they should have stopped at the first one, but the second one was good. Third is like, you're pushing it. 4, The Revenge, was purely just a cash grab. Not a crash grab. A cash grab. They just wanted money out of it because of the name of the movie. The shark traveled from Boston, Massachusetts, all the way down to the Bahamas. Out of pure vengeance. The kill at the very end where they killed the shark was beyond stupid. They impaled it in the original unedited director's cut. They just impaled the shark in the neck with the spear of the boat. And boy, was that fucking stupid because first off, it makes no sense that the shark growls and moans and all this shit, but it getting rammed with the front of the boat and impaling its neck, I don't fucking think so. And just the characters' decisions throughout the movie, it was hard to watch. It was a hard watch, and there's no redeeming quality to it. It's just purely for money. And now we're going to hop into an honorable mention. I'm not going to bring up a lot about this. It's just an honorable mention, like 2-3 quick things that I hated about this movie because it was a movie I wanted to talk about, and that's going to be Annabelle Comes Home. I fell asleep in the theaters during this movie. It was so slow. It was boring. The characters were unwatchable. Ed and Lorraine weren't even in it. And Boy, they had a spiritual werewolf attacking people. A fucking werewolf. Where does that shit come from? Like, the directors must have been high off their ass, because that made no sense. And if there was a sense for that, please tell me in the comments so I can just be less hateful towards the directors for making this movie, because sincerely, I hate them for making this movie. Nothing against them, just I don't like their choices they made. And that's it. I just wanted to say I fell asleep during a movie in the theaters on opening night. And number one, we're just going to hop right into it. As that title card suggests, the worst movie in the horror genre I have ever seen is going to be, without a doubt, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Let me take you guys back to August 22nd, 1986. We have been waiting 12 years for a Texas Chainsaw Massacre continuation or reboot. We got a continuation. And I wish we didn't. It should have been a one and done movie. Because Tobe Hooper did not continue it very well at all. The first one was an exact masterpiece. Like, it was a masterpiece that should never have been continued. Then we got part 2. Let me tell you guys about part 2, because it hurts me to even talk about it. I fall asleep during this movie every time I watch it. There has not been a point I've seen this movie entirely all the way through, because I fall asleep during it every time. But I know how it ends. I've seen it. I've seen different pieces. And I know how it ends and shit. So let me fill you guys in. The beginning's pretty cool. There's 2 guys driving, tormenting the main character Stretch, who is a DJ radio host, and, well, Leatherface and his buddies, sure as fuck, ain't dealing with that. His chainsaw drills through pure steel to kill these kids, which gives us the greatest kill of the movie, by the way. One of the dude's heads gets chopped straight off, like, right down the middle, and that's it. You should drop off there, because there ain't nothing else coming for you, like I said. After that, it's just Leatherface being sexual with the main character. Weird decision. Did not need to be added. And then he lies to his family about killing her and shit just to save her life. And then he just starts rubbing her with his chainsaw. Really? We're getting Leatherface to be sexual now? It makes no sense. And then the second worst part, not the acting, but like the characters. The characters themselves are just hard to watch. Leatherface is not reprised by Gunnar Hansen, though he should have been, but I guess there was something went on between them and he just didn't do it. And that was that, so Leatherface wasn't even cool. Drayton was reprised by the same character, or by the same actor, not the same character. He was reprised by the same actor, but the biggest and the most, let me tell you, the best part about this movie is Chop Top, played by Bill Moseley. If it wasn't for him, this movie is completely unwatchable. But he brings like some entertainment into it. Grandpa's back. And then you got Dennis Hopper playing a sheriff trying to figure out what happened to the kids and shit throughout the movie. And at the end, there's a chainsaw fight. Not a good one. It's poor acting. The movie has fucking little to no replay or rewatch value to it. And their lair went from a farmhouse to, get this, a carnival. Not even a carnival, like an amusement park or some shit, like an abandoned amusement park. Like, why? Why was that not, like, demolished or some shit? That made no sense. And all in all, this movie's just hard to watch, between Leatherface being sexual, their lair, the second whole half of the movie being played out through an amusement park, and Chop Top, if it wasn't for you, this movie would be trash. But guys, I fall asleep during this movie every damn time I watch it, just because of how boring, slow, unpaced, how sexual Leatherface is. Perf. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you, Austin, for this, this video idea. And, I have one for you. What is your top 5 favorite holiday movies? Like, it doesn't even have to be horror. Like, if you can fit holiday horror movies into it, I would love to see that, Austin. So, any holiday movie or holiday horror movies that you have seen, Austin, I want to see a video on it. And I will be doing a video on that too. And Thank you guys so much. I love y'all. Peace out.